So she needs no introduction. Selena Gomez hanging out with us for a record 4th time. Did you know that this is the 4th time I've actually sat and talked to you?
It's our 4th anniversary.
It's our 4th anniversary. We spoke for the 3rd time, and that was a record in and of itself. So you're breaking your own record with me today.
Oh, well, thank you.
This is the 4th time we've talked, and every time we've talked, I've gotten to know more about you, not just as an artist, but also a person. And I think this is so perfect that this is really where I've learned the most about you now with Revival. The new album, the new look, the new, it's just like a whole new you. Do you feel like that?
Sure, but I also just feel like it's kind of everything that I've wanted it to be. Genuinely, I was terrified to expose myself the way I did until I realized the whole world was trying to expose me and speak for me. And I think that frustration pushed me and motivated me into saying what I actually felt, not getting the credit that I deserved, working as long as I've worked. I knew that I needed this album to be the one.
And we talk about the fact that you're now kind of the boss. I know on the Today Show yesterday you were saying you get to call the shots now. You've grown up in front of everybody's eyes, and now it's like, you know what? I'm the boss. I'm going to call the shots musically. I'm going to tell people where I'm going to go, how I'm going to look, what I'm going to do, what kind of pictures I'm going to take. Yep. Is that true? Are we really the boss now?
Of course, yeah. No, I had to start from the bottom up. You know, I moved out of my house and transitioned into a new label, new agency. It all was so new to me, but at the same time, I had been doing it for so long that I was like, I knew what I wouldn't do and what I would do.
Right. And you mentioned being exposed before. We were just looking at the album artwork and the photos. I was looking at some of them yesterday, not to sound like a creeper, because that did sound a little creepy, but not in a creepy way. And I was thinking to myself as I was looking at them, I feel like I'm a creeper, but I'm not, because the way they're taken, it's not like a over-sexualized kind of photo. It's a vulnerable, open, like stripping down of who you really are as a person. That's how I took them.
Yeah, no, thank you. That's exactly what I want it to be. I think it could have been extreme. You know, it's like teetering the point where I could go down that path.
Right.
And for me, it was just about capturing those moments. One of the images in the album artwork, I'm kind of in mid-conversation. My lips are like open and I look a little frustrated. And it was about capturing genuine moments. I didn't want to have the full-blown makeup and the super intense wardrobe. I just wanted it to be beautiful and simple. And
that's what they were, and also very tastefully done. But I have to ask, when family sees those photos, what's like the first reaction? Like because I know if I was in a photo and I had like no shirt on and like just a pair of underoos, if my mom saw that, she would kind of probably be a little suspect. Yeah, no, I got the He-Man ones. Yeah, no, they're awesome. But my mom would probably be a little weird about it.
Well,
I think.
let's remind the people that I was in Spring Breakers. So
fantastic role, by the way. His favorite movie, and I'm not even kidding you.
So thank you, honestly.
For all the wrong reasons.
Hey, it's incredible. Honestly, it was an amazing experience. But no, this has been such a long time coming. I'm sure it's like my dad went to buy the album. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sure he was like, "Oh, mija, what's happening?"
But they know it's done the right way.
Of course, they know. My family is extremely proud of me. They never judged me. They never put any blame or anything on me. They're very accepting.
But with the new album comes a new tour.
Yes.
And I read the first stop on the Revival tour will be Vegas.
Yeah.
You get giddy about that, I see. You're very excited. Did you handpick Vegas as the first stop?
No, I didn't. I wish I could say I did. I think it's going to be so fun because that is the crowd that I feel like would be so fun to kick off. Yeah.
Do you ever get to visit the cities and like see the cities you're in while on tour? Or is it just a blur?
Sometimes. It gets kind of a bummer when I don't get to see. I'm like, oh, there's that place. It's like, oh, goodbye. No, I'll get to have days off and enjoy the place I'm in. I love being able to travel. It's one of my favorite parts about it.
What's different preparing for this tour now that you've grown and you're a woman now? You're not a kid anymore. You're not a pop star. You're an artist. What's different in preparing for this tour to tours past?
Everything. You know, I have this incredible album to represent now, and because it's so me, the visuals and the simplicity of the tour is going to be so powerful. I just want it to be emotional, not in a exhausting way, in a beautiful way, that you feel like you're a part of the album and a part of my world. And I always have been the kind of person to never want to seem untouchable. I don't want people to look at me and think, oh, you know, I'm on stage and I'm this untouchable human being. I'm literally exactly like everyone, and I get it. I have those moments, I have those days, and I want it to feel like that. I want it to feel personal.
I love that you say that too, because every time I've come in contact with you, that's the last thing I think, is that you're not an untouchable person. You're not this on a pedestal, high, you know, A-list celebrity. You're just like everybody else. You're cool. He was saying before, he came in to shake your hand and you just came in for the hug. Yeah. The real thing. That's just who you are.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, no, you're a real human being. Congratulations on all the success. I have to do a set of random questions. And your people don't have to get worried. They're not anything inappropriate. They're fun questions.
All of them aren't. It's fine. Go ahead.
So I figured, because this is where I feel like people really get to know you when we ask fun questions. So we're going to start it off with an easy one: pizza or Chinese?
Chinese.
What are we getting?
Fried rice, hot and sour soup,
Ooh.
spring rolls, wontons.
Did you ever do the wonton in the hot and sour soup?
No.
Oh.
Really? Wait, like the little wontons?
Not the fried ones. I'm talking like the steamed wontons.
No.
Put them in the hot and sour soup.
Okay, I haven't done that.
Yeah, fun fact.
All right.
Delicious. Have you ever turned off or changed the channel on the radio during a song of yours? And be honest.
No.
No? Okay.
Even if I get weird, I'll just turn it down. Because then in my mind, I'm like, oh, wait, I don't want people to think that, like, I'm...
Of course. Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I
No,
gotcha.
for sure.
Well, your people probably get pissed that I asked that question.
No.
Artist or celebrity, because your fans waited overnight for you at the Today Show. Artist or celebrity that you would wait outside for on the street overnight?
Oh. Well, let's see. When I was...
And don't say Taylor, because we know you can just call her at any time of day and she'll just show up. So
that is weird. I would never say that.
I'm just saying, but
so weird.
You could, so that you can't say that answer.
I wouldn't. But I would
right.
say that I'm going to take it back in the day because this was such a powerful love for me.
Okay.
It would be Jesse McCartney.
Well, I met Jesse McCartney a year ago, like this month. We did a bowling for boobs for breast cancer awareness.
Oh.
He signed a pink bra that I was wearing.
Oh, how romantic.
I actually have the photo. I'll show you later. It was nice.
I wanted to be a part of his world. I just remember being so infatuated.
You wanted to be his beautiful soul.
I did.
Yeah. Don't we all? You're at a wedding. What's the dance you're owning on the dance floor? The Cotton Eye Joe, the Electric Slide, or the Macarena?
The Macarena.
I figured that would be your answer.
Of course.
And I would own it as well because I don't know how to do the Electric Slide.
I don't either.
I
don't either.
Yeah. Okay, same answer. The first social media platform you look at when you wake up?
Instagram.
Okay. Your DVR right now, what are the 2 shows you have taped?
Empire and Scandal.
I haven't seen Empire yet.
Oh.
Everybody tells me I have to start
You're
watching
the only
it.
one.
I might be. I have to start watching it. The one song, karaoke, to save planet Earth. What's the one you're going to nail perfectly and save planet Earth? Can't be one of your own songs.
Oh, well, will you stop? Like Shania Twain. Anything Shania Twain.
Okay.
Man, I feel like a woman.
Na, 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 na. I don't know the
What is
words
that?
now.
What's that song?
Shirt, short skirts.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
Feeling
there
like
it is.
this.
And man, I feel like a dumbass. Have you ever debated, and this is the last one, have you ever debated going on Twitter with your nearly 34 million followers, waking up in the morning and say, I'm going to use the power of my followers to put out a crazy-ass hashtag and make it trend today? Have you ever thought about it? You've never done it, but have you ever thought about it?
No.
No?
I'm being honest.
Okay, all right.
I don't know. There's so many hashtags.
But like just making up your own crazy one.
Well, but here's the thing. When you do a hashtag, it has to be... I don't want to just be the person that's constantly hashtagging.
I gotcha.
I want it to be special.
Okay. Are you not a fan of hashtags?
No, on Instagram I hashtag the most random things. I'm like hashtag need to sleep, hashtag no sleep, hashtag 10 hours of sleep. Like,
I just discovered you can hashtag emojis, and I'm so excited about it.
When?
It's a thing. You can hashtag like the smiley face. You can hashtag the poop.
Legit.
Yeah.
The poop. Why do you go there?
That's just where my mind goes, and that's probably why we should stop this interview now. Now I want to talk about the album, Revival. Now, the first 2 singles, of course, Good For You and Same Old Love. Good For You is a very sexy, sultry sound, and it was that new sound we had gotten from you when we first heard it that we were kind of like, all right, is this the route? You know, the music's is this how it's gonna sound? Is this a different overall sound for her together? And then you get Same Old Love, and it's a little bit more up-tempo poppy. So the whole album, and correct me if I'm wrong here,
sure.
I'm gonna say somewhere between rhythmically sensual and empowering pop. Would that be a good breakdown?
Yes.
Yeah? Can we quote
I need
that?
to use that
We're
for my
gonna
next
quote that.
interview.
Right?
That's exactly what it is.
That's the sound. I mean, and then I take the first 2 singles, and that's where I get it from. And then you listen to the rest of the album, and it's all about your growth and your maturity.
Thank you.
Hands to Myself, Sober. The writing is just so much different than what it ever was for you. Mm-hmm. What was the process going through with this album? Not only changing the sound, but also your growth as a person. Not just a pop star anymore. You're an artist.
Thank you.
Yeah. So was it hard to transition?
Yes, of course, because you have the weight of the world on you, and you do, I had a lot of people not wanting to think I could do it,
Right.
They were almost saying and already projecting it onto me. And when I spent the year working on this record, there were moments where I was a complete wreck. I was like, I am getting way too in my head. I don't know what I'm going to say. What if people don't like the way this is coming out? And then I had to realize that I had to make it for me. I went to Mexico, and it was the first time that I had ever experienced any sort of body shaming stuff. And I had this whole revelation. I was like, I want to be heard. This isn't fair. Why is everything I do something else?
Right.
And I put that into my music. So every single session I went into, I was like, this is where I am. This is what I want. This is what I need. This is how we're going to do it. Like how I want to say this, what I want to talk about. And then other days I'd go in the studio and I'd have nothing to say. So then it was just about taking time with myself, exploring where I was, being emotional, being empowered, feeling weird about certain things. I truly wanted it to be authentic. And hearing you say that, and hearing people that I love and know say, this is you, I hear you in it, could not be any crazier.
It's so true because, I mean, being in radio and working with music on a daily basis, I hear a lot of the same stuff over and over. But this isn't the same from you. It's a completely different sound from you. So compliments to you on that.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Not trying to suck up. Literally, I meant that. I have to talk about Sober.
Okay.
Because I think people, when they hear it, they're going to think, or people that have heard it, I think instantly they think it's about a specific relationship. It's about one person. But I don't think it is.
No.
I'm going to go with it's about all relationships, not just love, but also friendships, right?
No, here's the thing.
And social awkwardness.
Sure, but here's the thing. People don't want to feel things.
Oh,
sometimes
deep.
sometimes you want to run away from your feelings. And then you get complicated because you don't understand what it is you're feeling. You have to sit down and feel the emotions you're feeling. And I think that ultimately is what Sober is about. It's whatever context you want to put it in, whatever you want to apply it to your life, that's what it's about. It's about that feeling that you get. And it's kind of like the Since You've Been Gone vibe too. It's just, there's anger in that. There's frustration in that for sure. But ultimately, that's at the end of the day what you have to do. It could even be referring to myself. You have to understand where you are in your life, to have an inner dialogue, take care of yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Of course, and I want to get to Hands to Myself because you talk about the writing. Best line is the metaphorical gin and juice. That's probably my favorite line in the entire song. What kind of frame of mind were you in when you were coming up with some of these lyrics? Because again, completely different than anything you ever had before.
So it was really fun. Hands to Myself and Me and the Rhythm were the last songs on the album. So Good For You already came out. The album was about to go into mixing, and Justin Tranter.
So when we talked last time, those songs weren't done?
Exactly.
Wow.
So Justin Tranter, Julia Michaels, who wrote Good For You, we went into the studio. It was doing so well. And at this point, we were like, we got the album. We're fine. we felt confident. And I just had this sass about me. I felt really good about myself. And we went in, and it was just like, Julia's like, what are girls not doing? Like, what is that vibe that, girls haven't touched on? And she's super about the masculinity and feeling like you're equal to a guy, and kind of had a little Prince vibe in it. It started with a cup. We were banging on the desktop with a cup, and just kind of started stemming from there. And then Me and the Rhythm came out of that as well. It was just about me letting loose. I felt really great about myself.
Well, overall, a fantastic album, Revival. Go get it if you don't have it yet.